Okay, so let's have a quick introduction for optics. I really want to introduce the type of tools that we would use in optics, the base. When I'm saying type of tools, should say the basic type of tools because it can get actually very complicated. But when we're looking at optics, generally we look at light, and a lot of people think of optics, we're looking at just visible light, so the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. But in reality, you can use a lot of different things, excuse me, for dealing with optics. You can take laser beams, you can use X-ray beams, and so forth. So a lot of the tools that we actually use here that we're going to introduce with the mirrors and the lenses, people use to not only just impact visible light, but they also use within telescopes to look at X-ray telescopes, X-ray instruments. So there are a variety of ways that we can actually use these tools to look at this electromagnetic spectrum. So in reality, instead of intro to optics, what we're looking at is like an intro to tools on how to impact electromagnetic spectrum. So we'll call it optics because the rest of the world calls it optics. So we'll go through. So we have two different types of lenses. So let me kind of scroll back and forth here. I have a lens here that's skinny on the outside and fatter on the inside versus a lens that's fatter on the outside and skinnier on the inside. And so they do two different things. Actually, I'm putting them both here on the page. So if you're looking at them, they do two different things. The one on the top actually comes in and causes the light that's coming from the right to come in and converge at a point. So this is a convex lens, but I like to call it a converging lens because it causes light to converge. So you're causing light to focus or converge at a point. And so this is a focal point when light's coming from far away. Now, if you're looking at the lens on the bottom, you'll see when the title is a concave lens. It's causing the light to diverge, spreading out, not coming to a focal point. It's actually coming into an imaginary focal point back here. Talk about that here in a second. So there are two types of images that are produced. There are real images and there are virtual images. This, if I could put an image here, that would be a virtual image. It's being cast onto something. So the image is cast onto a screen, a retina, something that you can actually project it on. So another name for this is like a hologram. A virtual image can't be cast on anything. So I cannot put a piece of paper here and cast the image because the light would be blocked. So a virtual image is really where light doesn't go. So let me lead to the next point. So there's three types of mirrors. Excuse me. Apologize. So there are the two that we're going to have pictured here, and then a plane mirror. Plane mirrors are kind of boring. These are your flat mirrors in the bathroom. But if here's your mirror, here's you, where does your image appear to be? Well, your image appears to be back here. Well, I got a question. Does light pass through the mirror? And the answer is no. So I can't put a screen back there and capture your image. So what you see in your mirror is a virtual image. It's not something that can be projected on anything because light does not pass through the mirror. So you're actually not creating an image that can be projected or on film or on screen or something like that. You see it, it's there, but it's a virtual image. So that's a plane mirror. It's a flat mirror, and most of the mirrors that we deal with are flat mirrors. But let's look at these two mirrors here. They're kind of cool. Depending on where you live, you probably deal with these mirrors, or where you go shopping or pay attention to shopping. So we have a convex mirror and a concave mirror. So again, this is convex. So here's the back of the mirror is flat, and it bends out. Concave. It's a mirror that looks like this. Okay, so here's the mirror surface. This is a mirror surface. You will see the convex on school buses, at convenience stores, at a blind intersection. Where I live, in some of the neighboring communities, we have several blind intersections. So they'll put, like, here's a curve. The road goes like this, and there's an intersection here. So they'll put this mirror right here. So the people that are coming out can see down these bent roads. So what it does is it produces a view of a bigger panorama. So you can see more. Whereas a concave, you notice now it's kind of strengthening. You see a smaller portion. It's focusing on light. You'll see this in telescopes. And then if you're, depending on where you go, if your family goes for vacations, you'll see trick mirrors. You'll see mirrors that are like this, and they cause you to get small, skinny, make funny shapes and stuff like that. So you'll see the trick mirrors. But these are combination mirrors. Where we're going to look next is we'll look at the biology of the eye, and then we're going to talk about how we can use these lenses and mirrors and do some mathematics to determine where these images are going to be and stuff like that. So we're going to do some fractions, do some equations. Don't panic, it's not that bad. But I wanted to go through and show you the different types. And in reality, we'll talk about the eye, and I'll get to a second. In reality, we're going to have combination, what I like to call combination lenses. So I didn't draw that very well. So let me exaggerate. So here's radius 1 and radius 2. This lens doesn't really match either of the two. It's kind of like a combination. This portion here, let's say side 1, is kind of like this side 1. It bends out, correct? But then here's side 2 is more like this side 2. So it's like a convex concave lens, which is really what it is. It's a convex concave lens. And so we'll talk about that and how we can use that with glasses and stuff like that. So we want to kind of go through, I wanted to give you a kind of a brief discussion on the types of mirrors and lenses and have fun. Like if you've never seen one of these, go to a convenience store, look in the corner, and so the person, the cashier, can see more of the store. So it's kind of a neat phenomenon. School buses have it so they can see more of the area. Drivers can see more of the area around the school buses. So they're more for, you'll see them in safety positions and surveillance and stuff like that. Concave, not exactly sure where you would see those as much in everyday activities. But telescopes, definitely. Newtonian telescope, you'll see those, and we'll talk about those a little bit as well.